Are we still muted?
No, we are on. We are live.
Hey there, how you doing?
Hey, all
Family,
is
family,
well.
family.
Okay, we good, we good. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in tonight for another Monday night episode of The Lounge. After the sermon, it's the after party. Hey, so we are here. Yes. We had yet a phenomenal service yesterday at One Accord, and we're so excited to talk to you tonight. So we have again with us our phenomenal Lady T in the house joining us on this conversation. So guys, you are in for a treat. We're gonna get this thing right. We're gonna denounce any attack with this technology. That we're gonna get this message through. We're gonna have this conversation. We're gonna have a good time tonight. All right, guys. All right, Pastor. Do you have anything that you would like to share, Lady T? How you guys are feeling on tonight?
Well, I am feeling wonderful. I do want to, for those that are watching, number one, go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you can hear us. And then number two, share it with somebody. For what we're talking
Yeah.
about tonight, I really believe you need to hear it. And man, last week had my wife on. She was dropping some nuggets. We had all kind of technical difficulties. Now we in the building, and I want to make sure everybody hears. So if you can hear us, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. There we go. All right, they here. Let's
It's
go.
coming through. It's coming through.
Yes. Well, I hope everybody is doing well. But one thing about it, this weather is out of control, like my gray hairs. But we're gonna make this thing work. But let's
We're gonna make this thing work.
get it started.
We're gonna make this thing work. But yes, we had a phenomenal service yesterday. Pastor, this was a treat because it was so good that you couldn't even take notes. I couldn't even try to have any questions or anything. I was just that tuned in yesterday because guys, he broke the word down so good yesterday. He brought it down to our level, so to speak. So he talked about the plug and how God is technically our plug. So we all from the hood, somewhere in North Memphis, somewhere in South Memphis, East Memphis, wherever hood you rep, and there's somebody that always want to look out for those Jordans that you may not have in the store just yet. For that person who may be selling some books, some stamps or whatever, get your little groceries on, for a little tenth or something, whatever. But we always know who to call when we are when we're trying to get a good deal, when we're trying to get something that can be attainable. We want to try to get it first. So what if we started utilizing our God just as we utilize the plug? So man, when I tell you Pastor broke that thing down, it was something phenomenal. He came from Philippians 4:19, and it said, and my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. Pastor, I'm gonna let you take off with this one because it was fine. I have no words about how you broke that thing down yesterday.
Yeah, and I really started because so many times we read that, and he was talking about people who generously give, people who genuinely support other people who want to help other people accomplish things. He said, because y'all have supported me, I'm thankful
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing that, but I'm even more excited about you because with that type of heart, with that type of mind, God will supply all your needs according to his riches and glory. We hear that and we glaze over it. Imagine someone supplying all of your needs
Mm-hmm.
according to his riches. If he owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, if he holds the world in the palm of his hand, that means whatever you need, he can supply it to you. But the challenge in that, which I brought about in the message, was not only does he want to prepare the place for you or prepare the thing for you, he prepares you for the thing or prepares you for the place. It's not hard for him to create the thing, but it's hard for him to get you to trust him that he's
Yeah.
changing you while he's changing the situation. And though the plug in the neighborhood can come through in 5 or 10 minutes with instant gratification, God doesn't work like that because he doesn't just want to give you something that you're not mentally and spiritually prepared for. He prepares you so he can give it to you with no sorrow added to it. The weed man
Mm-hmm.
can give you some bad weed and sorrow with it. The booster can give you some bad clothes that's too small and there's sorrow with it. But what God gives, he gives you what you're praying for above and beyond, but he also prepares you to be the type of person that can maintain it.
But check this out though. Pastor. Going back to the plug, when we say about people that live in the neighborhood, even if I don't have it, I know somebody who might do. And so a lot of times we're just limited when it comes to God. How many of us saying, well, you know what? I'm speaking, and how many of us are bragging on God in that same way, like we brag on the booster or the dope man? But let me say this: one of the things that you said that was so good when you talked about that God is a supplier. You said we try everything else, but we never think about stopping by the shop. I mean, you said, hey, he's the supplier. We try everything else. And I think about that. We'll trust the system of the casino. We'll trust the system of the lottery system. We'll trust a pyramid scheme, even though I know it may come with a loss, but not even considering the system of the real supplier of just trying God's system. Because you did say the currency is faith.
Yeah, and that's the big deal. Trust the scratch off at the gas station. Instead of trusting God's system. Now you can trust the scratch off when you ain't won in 6 months, but you will keep doing faithful, but you will say giving to, a vision or sowing into a church or sowing into an initiative or a mission and say the return ain't coming fast enough. And even though God's return will be much bigger, because not only does it allow you to get what you're looking for, but it gives you a sense of contentment when you get it, and we'll delay God, but trust the scratch off at the gas station.
But do you think that's the issue? Instant gratification. Because see, with the casino, I can get that instant hit. But with God's system, it's faith. I'm not in control, and I don't know when God is going to rain that overflow, that blessing or promise on me. So do you think that's what it is? It's the lack of faith and patience on waiting on God to bless us?
No, and I think it is learned behavior. Just like I know you guys have heard the story about the elephant that when he's young, if he's tied to the tree, he has the ability to tear the tree down once he grow up, but he's so used to being tied to the tree that you could tie him to a little stick, and the first amount of resistance, he go ahead and give up because he think he can't do it. But I think that happens in our neighborhoods when our families we're constantly told the white man won't let us have anything, or the system is against us. And so we have this innate thought that some invisible force is against us, that even when we have the ability to surpass or fight through anything, we're so used to hearing that something or someone is against us. At the first sign of opposition, it doesn't make us think we ought to get better. It make us think that thing is again stopping us, getting in our way. And so mentally, we've tied ourselves to a stick that we can pull out of the ground, because generationally we've been told this invisible force is against us and gonna hold us back.
We're breaking up.
Yeah. We're gonna go. We could repost it. We're gonna keep doing what we're doing. I don't know why it's breaking up, but we'll repost it later.
Okay. Glad said
good.
You're right. The devil is mad.
Yeah. We'll repost it at 6:30. Keep on rolling.
Okay, we're gonna keep on rolling this thing on out. We so sorry, guys, for those who are catching bad connection, but we're gonna keep rolling this thing out. We're gonna get this thing right, because we have things to say, and we're gonna make sure that you guys join in and be a part of this conversation. So, Pastor, it like you guys are saying,
then all these things will be added to you. You can't just want the things without the lifestyle. Because if you don't have the lifestyle, the things won't be satisfying. If you make money your God, you'll never be satisfied. You will want more money. If you want the new relationship, you'll never be satisfied. As soon as that relationship get old, you want another. But if you allow God to a lifestyle, like Paul said up in the top of Philippians, I've learned how to live with a lot. I've learned how to live with a little. I've learned how to abound. I've learned the secret to being content is that I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. If you allow God to take you through the process, that no matter what the obstacle is, you can do it. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. But if you're dependent on people, you get money. If you get scared, what happened when I start aging and my face start wrinkling and I ain't fine no more? But when you say greater is he that's in me, whatever I need.
Absolutely.
And God is a manufacturer, a supplier, and God meets us where our faith is.
Mm-hmm.
Speak on that.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the Bible teaches so many things about the ability. There's a different sound in your stature, and people see it and they gravitate towards your confidence. And your confidence makes you, number one, try hard, calm whatever's in front of you, but it makes people see you differently. Insecurity has a look. Low self-esteem has a look. Lack of not going to want to invest in a shaky voice and a lack of confidence. But if you're confident in your product, the person that needs to hear it or see it will naturally, he moves on our behalf and responds, but naturally other people move on our behalf and responds as well. So that's why the level of belief on how you move, and it affects how people respond to you as well.
So another note that I took that I thought was good.
Yeah.
You said, give God your trust and faith, and he can give/be above what you can ask.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Minute, I can have a $10,000 month. So what God is saying, once you start doing what you believe you can do, I'm going to blow your mind and do above and beyond that. See, we try to make it all deep, but what he's saying is, once you start being faithful over little things, I'm going to start blessing you with much. But it's going to be based on your attitude, your humility, your thankfulness. And if you're faithful over that $200 a week period, he's going to bless you with the $20,000 a week period.
Absolutely.
But you got to keep your heart and your mind in the right place. You got to be faithful over the little. You got to be excited and thankful and just as hard working over the little. Yeah. So when the much come, you've trained everybody behind you how to operate in that same spirit. But if the people working with you see you lazy, you teach them how to be lazy. If they see you disinterested, you teach them how to be disinterested. But if they see you excited, baby, you gonna excite the whole crew.
Yes, absolutely. But the kicker in that, Pastor, as well, when you put your heart and your intentions in the right posture, sometimes God will show you that you may have been chasing this particular thing, but that's not really what you want. That's not what I'm requiring of you. And I feel like even as you use me as an example, yeah, I reached those milestones that I placed before me, but then I slowly understood this ain't really what the happiness is that people keep talking about. People are saying that, once you get this money, once you get this particular lifestyle, that this is all will solve all your problems and happiness. And that's not always the case. Sometimes God wants to show you, okay, I can give you this, but I'm going to tell you that your happiness is not where this is. Your happiness and your peace and your wholeness is in me. So let's dig a little deeper. So now I'm showing you this. I done gave you what you wanted. Now let's get you what you need. And that's me.
Miss April, I'm going to give you another example. God will put you with the sheep and teach you how to fight lions and bears. And all of a sudden put you in a war with people that is just as scared as the sheep were. And since you know what he did with the lion and the bear, you can take out the giant. So he's training you when nobody's watching. But see the similarities? He was protecting the sheep till he started protecting these grown men who were just as scared as the sheep were.
Right.
And his faithfulness on the shepherd field showed up with that same faithfulness once he was in the kingdom. So now, the same way he knew how to obey God when nobody was looking on the sheep field, he kept going to God once he got the crown on his head sitting on the throne. But guess what? Even if the throne and the crown and the kingdom changes you, he'll show you, I can knock you down, but if you repent and say, create in me a clean heart, renew a right spirit in me, I give back everything you lost. So if you don't have it, I can give it to you. If you lose it, I can give it to you too. But it's about what's going on in your heart.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So with that part right there, April started and you carried it. And this is something you said yesterday as well. You said when you get sick of yourself, you can secure your future. Teach.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, because one thing I also said yesterday, our ways are not his ways. Our thoughts are not his thoughts. He said, as far as the heavens are from the earth, you know how far that is? You know how many miles that is? He said,
Yes,
as far as
from the
the
east, from the
heavens are
west.
from the earth. He says, so are your ways from my ways. So what he's saying is, when you get through trying it your way,
help.
when you get sick of your plan not working, when you get sick of your will letting you down, when you get sick of your preferences disappointing you, now I'm finna reach up way farther than you can ever reach, because my ways are way farther than your ways, and I'm gonna show you that all that stuff you were doing means nothing if you're not doing it with a kingdom mindset. How am I adding value to the lives of people? How am I adding value to what God is doing? If you're doing it with the wrong motives, you're going to stay frustrated. But if your motives are right, God is going to reward the heart in which you did it in more than the thing that you feel like you're capable of doing.
Yes, God. I think we all can attest to what you just said.
Yeah. Yeah. And one point that I wanted to get out was, you know, if you want some shoes, you go to this place. If you want some pants, you go to this place. It's rare that you can find your whole outfit in one spot. Well, God is a one-stop shop. He's the manufacturer. He's the supplier, and he's the distributor. So he don't have to check on his shipment. He don't have to check for parts. He don't have to check what's available. He said, once you're in the kingdom, everything is in-house. He said, if you seek the kingdom, all these things will be added to you. That means you don't have to go one place for a happy relationship, one place for a good bank account, one place for a good wardrobe. He said, no, in the kingdom, it's a one-stop shop. You get it all right here. I just need your motives in the right place.
And the beauty in that is that he gave us the privilege to come to him boldly to his throne and ask him for anything that we want according to his word. So that's the part that we end up missing, is that it's a privilege for us to do that. He wants us to do that. He's given us permission to do that. That's the part that when you mentioned yesterday, as far as taste and see. When you have tasted God, when you see that his word is true, when you felt his presence, when you've been in his presence, all you can see is God. People always saying, like, I don't know where God is. I don't know where God is. And we always have to often tell them, go back to where you left him at, because oftentimes when we get what we want, we forget him. And then we go around searching, okay, what happened? What went wrong? Something feels off. Well, you need to go back and go get your God and bring him back up here with you, because you left him behind when he's the one who opened up this path for you. So it's kind of like, it's just a beauty in that. It's like, you can't explain it, but like you said, it's just like the plug. You get excited because you know that he's real, that you experience him for yourself, and the relationship that you develop with him personally starts to unfold before you. Now you're trying to tell everybody about this man, just like the woman at the well. Can you touch on that, how you ended yesterday as far as the woman at the well?
Yeah, and I'm going to get to the woman at the well, but I want to touch on what you just said, because that's so important. The message of the cross is foolishness to those that are perishing. You can't convince people of a God that they're not ready to believe in. And we have to give them the opportunity to taste and see for themselves. When you get through fighting yourself, taste and see. When you find out all the stuff that got you mad and frustrated, you hate the Bible, you hate the church, you hate the pastor, you hate crosses, you hate, when you get through with all that bitterness and anger, you can still taste and see for yourself. But when I got to the woman at the well, and I got emotional when I was talking about it. Can you imagine giving your heart and mind and soul and body to a thing, and it doesn't work? And you muster up the energy to try again, and it didn't work again. And when you finally recover from those bumps and bruises and hurts, you try again, and it doesn't work. And it's funny that the Bible says a just man falls 7 times But the thing that make him just is he's willing to get back up and try again. This woman was willing to believe one more time. He said, "Where's your husband?" She said, I ain't got none. He's like, "You right. You really ain't never had one. Even the one you got, that ain't yours either." He said, "But I'm trying to give you something where you'll never be thirsty again for another man. You'll never be thirsty again for another relationship. I'm trying to quench your thirst so you can stop lapping up behind people and live for yourself." And the fact that
Come
she
on now.
finally believed, now she got her strength. And when she felt it, she ran back to the town and said, "Oh, taste and see. I wish I could tell y'all what happened at that well, but I can't even find the word. Y'all got to come see this thing yourself." And that's what the gospel is. Sometimes people try to convince people of something they haven't even experienced themselves. I don't have to argue with you. I don't have to fight with you. I don't have to convince you. All I can say is, baby, taste and see for yourself.
Hello.
Taste and see for yourself. You sure right about that, because people will argue up and down now. Is God real? How can you prove it? How can you do that? And it's like, I don't have time to waste on trying to go through so much dialect and scripture, and as far as how he is real to me. If you don't believe for yourself, that's on you. That's fine. You believe who you want to believe. I'm gonna believe who I believe, because like I said, I've tasted and I've seen and I experienced it for myself. So all I can ask you is to open yourself up to know a God like him. But if you don't, I'm not going to argue with you.
And I love where the Bible tells us the kingdom is inside of us.
Right.
But somewhere along the way, life, situations, failures, bad experience has robbed us of believing that it is inside of us. Speaking on knowing who God is, when you say the plug, God is the answer. I mean, for everything, but here it is, we look for it, like you said, the relationships and different vices, whether it's drugs or pornography or different things, thinking that is the thing that's going to gratify us. Those are only these fleshly, temporary things that do it, and you're still yearning and searching for something. I'm just telling y'all my taste and see moment. So I'm up here looking all on the outside, trying to get something to feed my inside, but yet doing all that, but still thirsty. So therefore, but when you realize, where it said, when I got sick of myself, I secured my future. That's the real bag. So yeah, the real bag is understanding, knowing that God is the answer to every and all things, because he's the creator of all things. He's my creator, so he knows how to. He's the creator, and I am he's the creator, and what am I to him?
I'm the creature. Yeah,
I'm the creature. That is the creature. So I mean,
we're the created.
So he knows what's best, and so that was powerful for me, because faith is just really hard for all of us. I was thinking about, and I'm gonna shut up. I think about when I think about currency. I know you said faith, pastor, but I was thinking about tithes. I'm just being honest, and I'm thinking about, I can trust God to heal me from cancer. I can trust God to heal my marriage. I can trust God to deliver somebody off with a battle with a strong. I can trust God for some big stuff, because that stuff is some big stuff. But I can't trust Him with this 10 cent on that dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm only saying this not to condemn. I want us to ask ourselves, why am I limiting God in that area of my life? But I can trust Him to heal my family member from a disease, or bring them out the hospital, or set them free out of prison. But don't ask me about that 10 cent on that dollar now, God. You tried me, but when I understand that He's the supplier, just think about it, pray about it, process.
And to that point, and this is the challenge people have. He said, "Where your treasure is, that's where your heart will be." So if you can't be faithful with a dollar, you probably not paying your bills right either. And because it goes to a mindset. Because people ask me all the time, they try to come with these arguments, and I argue differently nowadays. I leave you with something to think about. But people come and say, "Well, weed is natural. What's wrong with smoking weed?" My answer is, that's an expensive habit. that's all I got to tell you. I hear people say they spend a car note worth of money on just smoking weed. So you can trust weed that requires that you keep coming back to it, but you can't sow into a thought or a principle or a concept that can give you a level of confidence where you can go after the things that you want. And so I don't even argue with people about the tithe and it's Old Testament. Okay, if tithing is the Old Testament, that's fine. What about the New Testament that says that which a man sows, that shall he reap? What about the part that says God loves a cheerful giver, that if you give plentifully, you'll reap plentifully? So I don't even want to get on that concept.
I don't talk about that. We don't want to lose nobody, do we?
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
but the whole concept is, how is what you're doing working for you? If you know something, if you got it figured out, well, you shouldn't have no problem. But if you still having problems, if you still having financial problems, if you still having sleepless nights, if you still falling out with people, oh, taste and see. Oh, taste and see for you. Until then, do you. But when you get through, taste and see for yourself.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
I thought of something, but I can't. It's not gonna make sense if I say it out loud. I'm gonna try it out anyway. It's like almost that most people will fight you and say, "Well, YOLO. You know, you only live once. You know, I could die today. You know, I could die tomorrow. I might as well live in the moment." But why are we living? I think you said it once before, Pastor. And help me out if you remember this sermon or this message you said. But it's like we're breathing to death.
Yeah.
You remember that when you taught us that it's like you're living just for the moment instead of knowing that God has given you the opportunity just to take life at. I don't know. I don't know how to make it make sense, but it's like that's what people think of right now. It's like they'd rather just live in the moment, or I'd rather go ahead and spend my money now because who's to say that I'm gonna live tomorrow? So I'm gonna go spend it on this dope. I'm gonna go gamble it off. I'm gonna go do X, Y, and Z. Be irresponsible instead of doing what is necessary to maintain a generational wealth, not only financially but just health wise. We just do things just because we feel like we don't have any time when we really don't know the day or the hour. But still, how can we change that I guess that break that barrier between YOLO and actually living to see tomorrow?
Yeah, and the Bible says it this way: where there is no vision, people perish. You actually have to see a future for yourself to take care of your body. If this is the only body I get, I better treat it right, because I don't want to be 60 and can't hardly walk. And so you got to live as if today is your last day, but you got to plan like you're going to be still here tomorrow. So you got to do both. You got to see a vision for yourself. See, right now, I got a vision of watching Chloe walk across the stage and graduate. I don't want to be the old man on a cane that can't really celebrate with my baby. I want, when she come off that stage, I want to jump up and down with her. So that's why I go to the gym. That's why I eat right. I don't want to be so bloated and out of shape and unhealthy that I'm some old dude sitting in the crowd, can't move. No. I'm planning for my future, but I'm enjoying today. I'm living, doing everything, all that is in my heart today, but I'm planning like I'm going to be around here tomorrow.
I know that's right.
About to wrap up, but this message for me, and in all things, if you're not at that level or place, the good thing about God, He's so gracious to us. You don't go to hell. Nothing. If you ain't met the mark or this level yet, I thank God I'm not going to hell because I'm not there yet. I think the biggest takeaway for me is, what areas am I getting in the way of allowing God to be the source or the answer or the plug for real in my life? Not the plug for my convenience, not the plug of when it's safe, but just the plug. God, I'm scared, but I'm still going to trust you. God, I don't understand, make it make sense, but I'm still going to trust you. I don't know why this happened to me, God, but I'm still going to trust you. And where you saying us getting out of our way, Pastor, and I'm not going to let what happens outside of me, the adversities, the challenges, get inside of me, make me become bitter, ugly, vengeful, or go blow for blow. I'm going to fight to love while I trust some things that I don't understand. Because you say it all the time, Pastor, if you got all the answers to it, what do I need faith for?
That's right. That's right. And that's where we are. And God, that's why I love that song. You are the source of my strength. You're the strength of my life. And so we have to, if you can trust the weed man to get the good weed, you can trust God to give you a good life.
All day long.
If you can trust the
Mhm.
booster to give you the good clothes, you can trust God to give you the good future. And so that's why I wanted to reference. Some call him the Lily of the Valley, some call him the Bright and Morning Star, some call him the Rose of Sharon. I call him the plug.
Ooh,
Whatever you need,
the
there
man,
he is.
the man.
And I'm
Yes,
done with
he
There
is
that.
the man.
Drops mic.
Yeah, but thank you for fighting through this, April.
Yes.
We gonna figure out what's going on with our technology because I'm about to get mad. But man, definitely want to thank my wife for her faithfulness for joining in. Want to thank you, Miss April, for all your diligence, and your hair is beautiful. You're looking like a superstar over there. Bless his holy name. You must have been to see the plug. But I just thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right,
Love
guys. Thank you
y'all.
guys
On
for
the
tuning
line
in
though.
tonight.
All right.
Good